While you're at the stock show, a quick 30-minute drive will take you to the final resting place of William Cody, better known as Buffalo Bill. Located high atop Lookout Mountain on the western edge of Denver, the gravesite and museum celebrate the life of the man who created the myth of the West and the legend of the American cowboy.
Well, Buffalo Bill really grew up in the Wild West. It was a West that he then took, put together with his Wild West shows and promoted. That period of time in American history was a time when we were creating myths. That is our mythical period. The stories of the cowboys, the stories of the frontiersmen like Buffalo Bill become a part of America's legend, America's myth. So Buffalo Bill was there taking part not only in the real West, but also taking part in creation of the legendary West. He came to Colorado in 1859 as part of the Colorado Gold Rush, as well as took part in the Pony Express and was in the Civil War briefly. And then after the Civil War, he was hired as a buffalo hunter, and it was during the time that Buffalo Bill hunted for meat for the railroads that he acquired that name, Buffalo Bill. Well, I always say that Buffalo Bill was the right person at the right time at the right place. He was at that time in American history when we start seeing a lot more promotion. We're seeing a lot of media, for example, starting to originate. Initially, when he started out, it was in the dime novels and newspapers. By the time of his death, he was already in movies. So he was both the real thing and a showman at a time when America was starting to look at itself and say, who are our heroes? Who can we choose as heroes? The Wild West show consisted of all sorts of acts from the West. You had a recreation of a Pony Express ride. You had vaqueros showing their roping skills. You had Indians and cavalrymen reenacting episodes from the Indian Wars. You had Annie Oakley shooting her gun and showing that she was the best shot in the world. You had races between people of different nationalities. Later in the show, Buffalo Bill actually had gauchos from Argentina. He had Indians, he had cowboys, he had vaqueros. He even brought Arabian horsemen into the show to show the skills of horsemanship that were involved in being a rough rider of the world. Well, over the years, people have been very upset about Buffalo Bill's burial here in Lookout Mountain. He had already founded the town of Cody, Wyoming, and people in Cody felt that he should have been buried up there. So there's a story that I heard that a group of cowboys started drinking in one of the bars in Cody, Wyoming, and hatched this plot that they would come down and steal Buffalo Bill's body from Lookout Mountain. The story is, however, that they continued the drinking all the way, stopping at places like Meeteetse, Thermopolis, and other places along the way. They got about as far as Casper, and at that point I think it had a little too much alcohol and never did make it across the state line. I think his choice of Lookout Mountain was appropriate for several reasons. One of them is, up here we get a great view not only of the Great Plains to the east, but also of the Rocky Mountains and the Continental Divide to the west. So it's this wonderful promontory showing both places where he spent his life. Secondly, Denver at the time of Buffalo Bill's death was over 125,000 population. It was a major place to access by the trains so that people could come to see his grave much more readily here than they could have, for example, in Cody, Wyoming. Buffalo Bill was part of America forging its identity in many ways. He personified that rugged independence. He had been out there in the West. He went through all of these experiences in the great American Wild West, which helped forge our identity, which helped forge us as a nation. There's been a lot of impact from him, and there's been a lot of what he did that has impacted the way we live today as Americans.